Today, a jury in Connecticut ordered Donald Trump's friend and supporter Alex Jones to pay $965 million to the families of some of the victims of the mass murder at Sandy Hook Elementary School because Alex Jones spent years poisonously lying about those murdered children and their parents.
We're not scared, and we're not going away, and we're not going to stop. And literally, for hundreds of thousands of dollars, I can keep them in court for years. I can appeal this stuff. We can stand up against this travesty, against the billions of dollars they want. It's a joke. So please go to InfoWarsStore.com and get Vitamin Mineral Fusion, get X3, get all the great products that are there that keep us on air.
Joining us now is Jim Bergen, Connecticut attorney with extensive experience in criminal and civil litigation. He's an adjunct professor at the University of Connecticut School of Law. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. This case is, of course, governed by Connecticut law. Given the guidance that the jury had through Connecticut law, were you surprised at this verdict?
Actually not. The volume of money allocated very specifically, Lawrence, to each of those individual plaintiffs is following the law precisely. So it is a testament to the judge's discipline and the quality of the lawyering, because notwithstanding Norm Pattis's extraordinary efforts to retain the confidence of his client, he had to abide by the rules. And so I believe that it's going to be upheld. I don't think it's even a close question.
So you expect it to be upheld on appeal, and then that would bring us to the collection stage, which is always a difficult stage in civil litigation. When you win these judgments, collecting the money is another matter. What is the future in this litigation on collecting this judgment from Alex Jones?
Any bankruptcy judge is licking her or his chops, because the powers, especially when you see today, he still tried to pump money out of his people who believe his crap. So as a consequence, the money he made today is going to be available. Any money that came in from the time he knew that he was at risk for losing this substantial amount of money that he doesn't have anymore is potentially a fraudulent transfer. And the bankruptcy court is going to be very aggressive, and he can't do what he did with this judge, where he just defies the judge, doesn't follow the law. In the bankruptcy court, it wouldn't surprise me if we're going to see some contempts, because he even taunted the bankruptcy court. Oh, we can do this for years and tie him up. The other thing that Chris Maddie just mentioned in your last hour, that this may be non-dischargeable in bankruptcy. So that is essentially financial suicide. He's going to have this, if this is found to be non-dischargeable, which I think it qualifies under the law of cutba, then personally, he can never attain and acquire assets because they can be attached because they're non-dischargeable in bankruptcy.
Yeah, you mentioned Chris Maddie. He's the lawyer for some of the families in this case, and he was telling Alex Wagner this point you're making, which that bankruptcy proceedings, the point is essentially it will not protect Alex Jones from this judgment that can be pursued for the rest of his life.
In fact, you go back, Lawrence, to the time when it was filed. The case was filed, and he's still making money then. All that money that he made from that day forward, whatever he did with that money is potentially something that has to come back. A constructive trust can be imposed on that. And the judge, seeing especially the judges being taunted by him, even on the day of the verdict, oh, we'll just tie it up, spend a lot of money, oh, I don't have any money. Well, the evidence is plain. He controls everything. He alone has all the money, all the power. That's not even in dispute. So any place that money went, he's liable.
Attorney James Bergen, thank you very much for your expert guidance on this tonight. We really appreciate it.
Glad to be here.
Thank you.